We've gathered a group of industry leaders from the technology and design community at Planet Innovation in Melbourne to judge some of the best innovations for the year in Australia and New Zealand.
The people around this table are in such a good position to judge these innovations. We've got product designers, we've got awards facilitators, and we've got entrepreneurs that are exposed to ideas and great concepts every single day.
The judges have got a pretty tough job. We've got to look at each innovation, have a look at what's different, what's creative, what have they done that's really going to change the game for some of these products. The best of the best go forward to the final episode where we'll ultimately pick the best innovation for the year. Robert Tiller of Tiller Design recognised how this first innovation can prevent injury and deaths for Australia's deadliest sport.
Rock fishing is dangerous. Imagine if, to be safe, instead of picking up your fishing kit to go fishing, you wore it.
Apparently, to go rock fishing, you need a lot more than a fishing rod.
Here, Terry, put this on.
Okay, go. So this is the rock fisher.
Yes, my mate Brad and I, we do lots of rock fishing, been doing it for years. We developed this to make our life a lot easier, and then if it's easier, it's safer.
So cup holder?
No, that is for your rod.
Ah.
All of this stuff that you threw out of the bucket, Terry, we're not going to use half of it. We don't even need the bucket.
Why?
Because you're going to carry the fish in a bag. You'll also find a waterproof pocket in there, which is for your phone.
Oh, I thought I'd have to leave that behind.
No, take it with you, you may need it. You can also put your tape measure there.
Show everyone how big my fish is?
And you can capture it on your GoPro.
Oh, if it's not on film, it didn't happen.
Here's our safety line. It's the bait bucket, spare tackle, and finally, your bait knife. That's it. You are good to go.
So, Carl, why are you not wearing a rock fisher jacket?
Well, the one you're wearing is actually the first prototype. We've just launched on Kickstarter to go into mass production. If I was to fall now, my reaction is to grip my equipment, so I'm going to go head first into the rocks.
I can't imagine that ending well.
Not really.
Whereas I'm hands-free.
Absolutely, that's the whole point of the rock fisher. It all started in a garage when Brad added a gimbal to his life jacket. So you can put the rod in there, gives you the extra leverage that you need. And then we thought, well, what else can we do? So we added the bait table.
Which means we don't need to bring the cutting board along.
Everything's there, it's so convenient. Unfortunately, many rock fishers do end up in the water. We've come up with some extra features that you won't find on a basic life jacket. So the first thing you want to do is raise the alarm. They will not hear you shouting, so you've got a whistle on your left shoulder.
Okay.
And the other feature is a strobe light. If you're unfortunate to go into night time, they'll see that like a lighthouse. In the collar, you have a survival hood. If you'd like to unzip it, pull out the hood, and you'll see a zip. This thing will stop you swallowing or inhaling water, which gives you a sense of security and the will to survive.
I thought the rock fisher was a safety device, and it is that. Thank you. But what I really love are all the carefully considered details to make the rock fisher perfectly designed for the end user.
This next innovation is sure to delight home chefs, just as it did for Edward Curry of Form Designs.
These beautiful knives are customizable to your ergonomic needs, and the design is absolutely inspiring.
It lives in the second drawer and it's a tool we use every day. Meet the kitchen knife.
That's not a knife.
How do you rethink the humble knife?
So my family are in cooking, and it began with them thinking about how can we improve a knife. People use these things for a lot of time, and just the ability to slide that enables you to rebalance it.
If I move this, I get a really lovely knife action that balances in my hand. This isn't the finished product, is it?
This is the second prototype.
Right, this is looking lovely.
In a typical knife, over time, these get ground, and what will happen is the balance will go out. This is a weight with a magnetic set inside, so we can slide this and rebalance it. The other advantage, of course, being dynamic, you can actually use it for different types of processes. Some people hold it like this, some people hold it like this, and indeed, different foods require different processes. There's some obvious problems with that. For example, the magnet, you know, if you're using that with oil, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
You'd
slip.
You'd slip.
So this is the final product?
This is the final product.
And I can see the difference.
Yeah, so straight away there's a little lump on that, so you get the grip, but it allows you to clean, so you can take those out clean that in the dishwasher.
That's a beautiful feeling knife.
Yeah.
So from first sketches to early ideas to a prototype that I would have been happy with to the final thing, there's a lot involved.
And I think what we should do is actually try it out with a chef.
So Colin, you've got a knife in your hand all day, right?
Yes, I would say more than 6 hours.
Wow.
So knife is very important for me. I can adjust my knife easily, and it's very good for me. I like my knife.
We're choosing Japanese steel, which I believe is one of the best. The whole thing is made out of one piece. So the other thing we've done is we've actually vapor honed the surface.
What does that mean? What does it do?
So it's a micro treatment, a slight texture on the surface, which helps the sushi come away from the knife.
Knife making is an ancient craft, and let's face it, we've all got a few at home. What's different about the balance knife? It's the first knife that's truly customisable.
We've gathered a group of industry leaders to judge some of the best design innovations for the year. Our host, Sam Lanyon of Planet Innovation, loved the leap in engineering detail on this project from New Zealand.
Innovation is sometimes distilled down to slogans. Like, perfection takes a lot of effort. Some of the best ideas come about in the shower. And what Methven has done is brought those two concepts together to achieve infinite control. Now, I've got to warn you, there may or may not be nudity at the end of this story.
I've come across the ditch to Auckland, New Zealand for a shower, but not this kind of shower. Here at Methven headquarters, they are putting their design and innovation focus on the unrelenting pursuit of amazing water experiences that don't cost the earth. They've even got it on the wall.
And this is the new design, Brandon.
This is the VJ.
Yeah.
And it's V for variable.
Yeah, infinitely variable. Everything from needle jet through to a kind of luxurious mist.
What I really love about this is that it actually is infinitely variable.
I think we've driven a few engineers crazy with the amount of detail that we've gone to on even just this little button. Our whole ethos here is based on sustainability. So it's not just about the water it uses, but it's actually how it's manufactured, the materials we use, the textures.
And you're able to control a lot of that because everything's made and manufactured right here in New Zealand.
Everything from prototyping all the way through to actually manufacturing the tools, it's all done here. It makes it a lot easier when you can walk out into the factory and understand, how your product is actually going out.
It's hard to think you can get excited about a shower head, but I just love this as a piece of object design. It's absolutely stunning. That button is something you literally have to experience. It's absolutely beautiful.
I think that's the thing, Brandon, you do have to experience it. Why don't we go and have a shower?
Serious? Let's do it. I really love this variable slider. Every single little slide gives you a completely different experience. I can see just how much thought and detail has gone into every single little aspect of this product. The end result is absolutely stunning. I reckon I'm going to be in here for a while.
You can't get any cooler than Brunswick and headphones. And I would have thought that we've maxed out all the potential of technology in that area, but apparently not. With this next innovation, we're into the next phase of intelligent headwear.
Welcome to Brunswick, an edgy creative hub here in Melbourne. Is it any wonder there's a cool company here taking on the big guys in the headphone industry like Beats and Bose? Wow, these are the newer headphones.
That's right. These are the world's first and only headphones that can automatically work out how you hear and change how they sound to match your hearing. If you look inside the ear cup, there's an earbud and then an ear cup. That earbud contains special technology that can scan your inner ear and work out the health of your inner ear and the sensitivity of different frequencies.
Why is that useful?
Because personalised sound is clearer, richer, and has more spatial detail. It feels like you're floating through the music. It's kind of hard to describe. You'll have to experience it. Let's go, put them on.
Put them on?
So right now the headphones are playing a bunch of R2-D2 sounding beeps and tweeps that are going into your ear and then the cells in the cochlea are making a tiny response sound, and we're analysing the response. We're approaching the end of your hearing test now. You're going to hear some music, first in neutral mode. So
Okay,
right now,
here's the neutral music. That's really good.
try personalised mode.
Come on. How? How did you do that?
Technology.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So these are the original prototypes to test function and fit.
This one in particular has caught my eye. I think I could wear that. What was that?
So this is the prototype that we took to Kickstarter.
To raise money?
Yes, $2.5 million.
$2.5 million?
Yeah, made it Australia's most successful Kickstarter. Allowed us to move from a small room with a couple of dudes to the 50-person office you see
So
today.
a 50-person company here in Brunswick building amazing headphones.
Yeah.
Let's put some music on. That's what we're here for. I went looking for some new headphones, and I have to say, now that I've had these on my ears, these seem to know exactly what I want to hear. They fill my head with music. It is unbelievable. I've got to go.
We're looking at some of the best innovations for the year in Australia and New Zealand. Rode Microphone's Peter Friedman admired our next project for making performance data more accessible in sports.
The sports tracker system is bringing in the technology used at the highest level of sport for a fraction of the money. The high-end ones are hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now the local football team can use it, and we're talking very, very low money, allowing them to get absolute great metrics on each player. That's a game changer.
Improving performance is the goal of any athlete. What if we could take the guesswork out of it?
GPS tracking has been around for a long time and basically enables you to understand how far and fast the players are running. Similar to what AFL, NRL and the major leagues around the world have been doing, but we allow amateur athletes and aspiring athletes the ability to be able to afford this type of technology and also understand it. And we speak to clubs, some of the biggest clubs around the globe, to figure out what they're doing and then allow that to be applicable to the amateur athlete.
So you're basically giving access to a similar amount of data to an aspiring athlete to be the best person that they can be. So what are the differences, for example, to wearables, something like a Fitbit?
Wearables and Fitbits and activity monitors are great at tracking how many steps you've taken and how many calories you've burnt. But our little GPS device that's quite small actually fits into the back of your jersey, or we provide a vest. And when you put a device on a couple of different players, you watch how quickly they become competitive, who's the fastest, who's working the furthest, and you watch how they identify some of the people that aren't working hard enough, and suddenly they stop going easy and start working really hard. So it is a great competitive tool.
We needed a system that was going to be really powerful and quick for us to use. A lot of the players, including and the staff, are part-time. So for us, having the app, for example, allowed us to be able to just have a quick look at what players did on the weekend, and then we can draw some conclusions about how much they need to do in a training week. So players roll in, they get a really quick look at how much work they've done in the game on the weekend, and then have a look at what they're doing live. The Bluetooth system allows us to track a player live at training. For example, a Lom Bloomgart, like tonight, he's already done 250 metres of sprint distance, and in a game he'll normally do 500, so I know that if he does a little bit more tonight and a little bit more on Friday, he's going to be ready to play on the weekend.
Aussies take their sport seriously, and we've always punched above our weight in the use of innovative tech. Accurate stats to individual players, teams and coaches can only raise the bar on all levels.
Peter Friedman appreciated this next innovation for its simplicity and effectiveness.
In hindsight, it's very obvious. Normally, you're cutting wires, undoing it, takes a long, long time. With this, you run the cables through the house, you open up the latch, you click it down, your PowerPoint's fixed. Lower cost, much safer.
Our homes are getting more and more connected. Our appliances and devices all need power. And that means more of these little guys. So why do we need to redesign the PowerPoint? So Adam, we rarely see behind a PowerPoint, but that's what it looks like. So how long does it take to fit one off?
Look, each PowerPoint will take about 3-4 minutes.
4 minutes each PowerPoint, 100 PowerPoints, 400 minutes a house.
Yeah.
So the quicker we can make this, the more PowerPoints you can fit off.
That's right.
The more projects you can
That's
work
right.
on. So Dean, I've got the timer. Should we give it a go?
We've got the experienced electrician. Let's see how long it takes him doing it the old way.
Go.
Stop the clock.
2:58.
Just on 3 minutes, that's great. Good electrician. So can you imagine 150 connections in the average home? It's going to take him a day's work doing it the old way. At each connection point, the cable needs to be cut, the outer insulation needs to be stripped off, so does the insulation on the inner 3 different conductors, and then they need to be spliced together.
So how do you change that?
Well, simply we've come up with a new idea to make it simple. You don't require any tools whatsoever. All you would do is open up the back of the product. You'll see there's 3 little pins in there.
Yeah, I can see those, sharp.
Yeah, and they're actually designed to make a connection to each one of these conductor strands. Just overlay the cable in the product, you close the outer housing, and then rotate the cam lever, the connection's made. We have another outlet here that we can get our trusted electrician to be able to fit off the new QuickFit product.
Adam, ready when you are.
Let's go. Start the clock.
So you'll notice there's no cutting of wires. So the connection's been made, it's now just a matter of simply fixing the product back to the wall.
Stop the clock. 29 seconds. That's amazing.
It's a saving of about 2.5 minutes per connection. Can you imagine in the average home, 150 connections, that's well over 300 minutes that's been saved.
Innovation is different to invention because it so often seeks to improve on what's already there. And imagine the big difference this small change can have on cost and time, especially as our cities continue to grow.
We're down to the final 2 projects for this episode of Australia by Design Innovations. Vince Frost saw a market for this next design innovation for the workplace.
In a busy collaborative working environment, sometimes you need to have a private phone call. This next solution solves that problem.
Great silence.
Sorry, Rob, no one could hear you.
Oh, really? Sorry, Jason. How about you walk us through what this is then?
Essentially, everybody in Australia moved towards using open plan offices, and the concept was about creating more collaboration and connection, but unfortunately it's meant that people just don't have privacy anymore. There was a manager who was very noisy, and he asked his team to find something so that he didn't have to walk away from the workplace. He wanted to stay connected to them, and in the effort to find that, they said there simply wasn't anything on the market. So the FrameRyo has created a situation where people can step in there very quickly, nice and close to all the workstations, and they can actually speak without anyone hearing. There's a very good ventilation process, so it basically is giving your oxygen back fast enough to ensure that you're not going to pass out.
I was wondering about that. Come on then, let's jump in.
What together?
Why not? Oh wow, it's already instantly quiet.
Instantly. By using 7 layers of really effective acoustic material, which is a secret formula. 97% of everything that is made in noise inside this booth stays in this booth.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable, yeah.
And I can feel some fresh air, I think, coming in from the top.
Absolutely. That's the ventilation process, which ensures that it's travelling in at 3 times what would make you comfortable, so it keeps us at a level. There's not normally 2 people, but yeah, that's keeping us comfortable.
So it's keeping me alert.
And we've got a feature over here where we give you a little bit of an opportunity to charge up your mobile phone.
Yep.
So it's really become a great product. The FrameRyo is really the answer.
It's missing one.
Which is?
A lock.
Yep.
I want to stay in.
And the other great thing, Rob, is that it's a modular piece of furniture. So if you change your mind about where it is, you can just move it up to the other end of the floor, take it with you to another building.
Wow.
You virtually keep it and keep it for years.
Open plan offices do create opportunities for collaboration and teamwork, but sometimes you want quiet and privacy. The FrameRyo puts that in the heart of any office.
A park bench under a solar tree where you can charge your mobile phone. This is something that I'm sure we'll see a lot of in the future.
Cities take up just 2% of the world's landmass, yet they consume nearly 80% of the world's energy. If we're really serious about reducing carbon emissions, then urban lighting is a great place to start. So Ian, what is this?
What you're looking at is a big idea. This is called a solar tree. What we've done in the City of Melbourne is we've got 14,000 light units and we've changed all those to LED. It's powered through lithium batteries and solar panels.
Wait a minute, back up for a second. Are you saying that this is not connected to any power underground?
It's not connected to any power underground, it's not connected to the grid. All you need is a pole, let there be light.
That really is a big idea because it can go anywhere.
But the big thing about it is it'll give us another 10% saving because we'll be able to take all of the park lights off the grid.
And you've created a bench situation here. So this is more than a lighting pole, it's like a gathering point.
Well, it's actually out of a little frustration with my teenagers. They all seem to get really depressed if there's no 240 volt and Wi-Fi connection. So I thought, why not just show them that you can do everyday things by the Earth's energy?
Solar energy traditionally just goes on a roof and then puts power into the grid. What we do is put it into a compact, all-in-one device. Solar energy has come such a long way in the last 30 years, so even though today is not a great day for solar, it will still work. You know, there really isn't much excuse now to not have solar.
So the idea here would be to roll this out on a bigger scale?
Our goal is to actually be able to have solar energy in all parks throughout Australia, and using solar and battery technology can definitely make that happen. We're blessed with probably the best conditions in the world for it, so there's really no excuse. I think it just comes back to that ambition that we want to do it, and we've got the technology in hand to make it happen.
Solar Tree is just the beginning. Imagine if every city adopted this innovation. The positive impact on our planet would be enormous. Ian was right. This really is a big idea.
And now, which projects will the judges choose to go through to the best of the best final later in the series? From this episode, the judges have chosen Balanced and the Rock Fisher. For more information on any of today's innovations, visit australiabydesign.com.au.